July 28, 2025. Vote no on Vibrant Denver Bond November 4, 225. Citizensofdenver.com. You know, it's funny if you watch the shell game of Denver City Councils aren't happy with the bond. They had to add in more stuff. So now they're almost at $1 billion, folks, and they're not going to raise your taxes. No, they're just going to ask you for all the money up front. So then they can spend it undiscretionally, any way they want. You remember those 44% raises? And then after they get their raises, and then Mayor Johnson's going to want his raise, and then the city councils are going to want their raise. And when you think about how much work they do, and when you pattern match it to what they're actually doing, and it's hurting Denver more than it's helping, it's crushing them. And they have the same 30,000 people. That's their main core right now. 30,000 people that are willing to give these people $1 billion, but they're not going to raise taxes. Oh, wow, that's great. Well, that's far out, man. These are some smart people. Duh. Look at these, man. These people are clowns. This is who the last election, and we needed to index it because this 2025. Oh my goodness! I mean, when they have no ideas, this is what they do. Okay, so Mike Johnston did the 2R dance, the shuck and jive dance. Watch what he does for this dance. And when you hear him, when the state of the city address, listen to this first one, and then look what happened, folks. 250 million in debt, and you know these people are out of control and are totally insane. When none of them said, "Hey, how about if we take the money out of the bonds and pay back that $250 million?" Oh, no, we can't do that. That's money spent. See, that's how nonprofits think. Denver is a nonprofit city. Forget about the blue city. It's a nonprofit city. All the news people, when you think about the news, the nonprofits over the profits. And so all of these people, especially the nonprofits, to get that equity investment that they need to stay alive, to keep bullshitting Denver voters, to keep doing the insane things. Well, the Denver voters are doing the same thing over because there was only less than 90,000 people that voted for Mike Johnston. So when people say 55% of the voters, 55% of his voters, which turns out to be around 30,000 maybe, 40,000, and that's who you see that's his main cheerleading squad. And the one thing that I have to say is when you want to see frustration on people's faces, there's nobody's frustration's face. I'll say that real fast. There's nobody's face that has more frustration than the chief of police. I mean, I wish I could interview him, man, but he couldn't tell me what he's really thinking. I can tell by his face. Anybody can. And that's the one thing that you got to understand. They're cutting the Denver police. They're we can't hire anybody, so we got to hire these illegals that we passed last year in the election process. 2023. You see how that goes? So in 2 years, Mike Johnson's managed to get us so out of whack in our thinking, in our vibrant Denver. When he says vibrant Denver, him and his team have no clue. When you say vibrant, he doesn't own that word. So what they do is they take the most vibrant person or entity, and it starts to move its way up like a China vine, real slow, organically, climbing through the ranks of bullshit. And it just, Amanda Sawyer, when you look up all the city council, like Paul Cashman, I was living in his district. This is after Charlie Brown, the tomato guy. That's all he did was sell tomatoes. Go ask. These people haven't accomplished nothing but fatten their wallets. Denver voters have created more millionaires in their city council and elected officials than they have creating millionaire businesses. Have you ever seen, hey, this business is $1 billion business? No. And if you did see it, you look at who the players are and you look, there's no money coming in for those people. It's a shell game. And right now, Mike Johnston, he is banking that he's going to be able to bullshit the 450,000 and then add on that other 40,000, the ones that aren't happy with Mike Johnston. Okay? Because what the media does is say, 55% of Denver voters approve of what he's doing. Okay, wait. We have 550,000 voters. So you're telling me half of that supports that when only 90,000 voted for him? See how it doesn't match up. Numbers don't lie, people do. And these people are the biggest liars. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm trying not to be, that guy to where, he's angry and he's wrong. I'm not angry. I'm old. And I've watched 18 years of the shell game, from Hickenlooper driving up on his little scooter, taking a shower in a suit. It was a cheap suit, but to a poor guy, that's probably the most expensive suit he's ever owned. And what happened with homeless? Look at Mayor Mike Hancock. You know what he left with? $300,000 a year, and bragging that he's a C-suite executive. He couldn't C-suite his ass to a cheese factory. You heard me? And so this is what the indexing is. I've been doing for 18 years. I don't need to be mayor. I created platforms that Mike Johnston said, can we get some vendors in here to help our residents? No. What it means is, can you please help the city and county of Denver so we can manipulate the residents more and keep them begging for the government to help them? And that's what it is. Non-profit, government assistant, everything. You got to ask them for everything. I'd like to ask Mike Johnston to kiss my... But that wouldn't be too polite. How about if I said kiss my butt? Would that be better? I wouldn't let that slimy guy touch me, man. He is a slime ball, silver spoon fed, Aspen wannabe mayor. And so when you grow up in Aspen and you have what he's been through, you have no idea what you're doing, Mike. None. So you think that these 2 years have been really good for you, like you bullshit? Hey, we're doing great. How'd we get into a $250 million debt for next year? Folks, we've never talked about next year's debts. So we're already fluffing the blankets so that the voters can get ready to tuck into the next vote. Because he needs that $1 billion. No, they're not going to raise taxes. But the city council, fire them all. Google search their names, find out what they've done their whole entire lives. Nothing but kiss ass to Denver Democrat Party. And the National Party is going to have to boot Denver Democrats to the curb because he's bringing down the numbers. And see, what they don't understand is they're not garnishing anybody new. The Kamala Harris and all those stars that came out, and you're Jack Black and all those people, all their shit I burned. Man, we did a big burn party, folks. I took all my Robert De Niro movies, burned them. All of them. I don't watch them no more. I don't want to see that fucking guy. Jack Black, all his shit got burned. See, these folks think because they entertained us that they have... who's the biggest fluff? Who's that guy who couldn't even ride a scooter in his coffee commercials? Yeah, that guy. Huh. So this is his Angela Gale moment. So anyways, folks, you're getting hornswoggled by a group of people that are very good at what they do. And that's to bullshit you. Look at $950 million. It's expected to take a final vote. See, Denver 7, they get a little bit of money of that to advertise all the big stuff. All ABC, CBS, NBC, Denver Right. Look at Denver Rights. Denver Right. Denver leaders cut housing to fund road safety. Indigenous. I'm indigenous, folks. I don't need their fucking help. None of these Indians need their fucking help. But they got to sit there. See what you see what it is? Oh, we're helping the indigenous. Well, what about the fucking Asians? What about the fucking Haitians? What about the fucking Puerto Ricans? What about the fucking, you hear me? That's what I hear on the trail when I go walking around talking to people. F F F F F. Now I start F F F F F. I'm a Gemini. I'm a chameleon, folks. But look at this. Facebook, Councilman. The Vibrant Denver Bond package is incredibly worthless. I want to send it to the November ballot. See, they think that they're going to bullshit you. See? Look at that. Citizens for no debt. There is somebody. Oh, I wonder who those people are. See, Denver 7, proposed events as a city council. Denver City Council updates 225 bond projects. None of them said, hey, let's pay back the $250 million that we're in debt. No. See, Mike Johnson, I think they're going to get that money. They don't want to tell you, which makes sense. Yeah, we're going to pay back that $250 million. Because people go, what? 250 million? Who? No, these are the have-nots that are voting for the haves. The haves is the city council. Worthless. There isn't one city council member that I'd let them watch or walk my dog. Or wheelchair my dog. I don't care how you look at it. And see, we become so pussified, you can't even say, hey, that guy's in a wheelchair. Oh, you bigot. What? Yeah, you just said he was in a wheelchair. That ain't nice. Well, what the fuck is he in? You're just not allowed to say that. It hurts his feelings. Fuck. This is where we're growing to, you know? And see, where's Mayor Webb? When's he going to come out and say, I support it? Because Mayor Webb has no clout. And as soon as he passes away, they're going to take that statue in that building and they're going to take it out. Because he watched what they did to Mayor Spear, who died in office, 100-year flu, who saw in 1916 what a partisanship government would look like. And he was Democrat. And he said, no, not so fast. We're going to keep the power within the people. We're non-political. Our sole purpose is the economy and services. And all appointments are made by merits and ability. Now you see Johnston coming out saying, oh, we're gonna, we got to get some of these seniority people out. How about getting rid of some of them city council members that are collecting 3 or 4 paychecks from different departments they retired from, and they got another check. See, that's what Paul Lopez is going for. You need to fire that guy. Don't give him another paycheck. Right now, he'll get half of what his paycheck is now. You give him this other year, he's going to get the retirement paycheck for city council, $94,000, and then he'll get his full paycheck for the clerk and recorder, and he thinks he needs a warehouse. This guy has no clue about a fucking thing. Oh, he's a labor organizer. He's been watching too many Robert De Niro movies. A labor organizer. When I heard that, I'm a labor organizer. Like, what are we, in the 20s and the 30s? But this is how these people make their spin. So I don't trust anybody that has to tell people he's a vato. Believe me, I know the barrio better than he does. My high school had 4,000 students. He comes from a school that the whole entire school was 1,200, if that. So the shell game of the clerk and recorder and the auditor and all their 18 years of fucking spin, 18 years of putting us in debt, not honoring our military. My son got a Purple Heart. He went to school in Denver, in one of the most corrupt public school systems in the entire world. How do you have a Cherry Creek school and a Denver public school, and they're the same, and everybody goes, "Oh, my kid's at Cherry Creek." Like, what are we doing? Are you rewarding certain people with Cherry Creek schools and Denver public school? Have you ever seen the different schools and what equipment they get and what the other school, and they're the same district? It's because they're all bullshit. Every one of them. And I got to index them. That was my pleasure, man. Pleasure. That's what happens when you're old. And you got nothing to lose. Nothing. Nothing, man. I got pre-existing. I'm feeling good. I truly am. Because on November 4, 2025, Mike Johnston and his merry people of overinflation and money grabbers, because that's what nonprofits do. They grab all the money they can, and when they run out, they go, "Oh, sorry," and they go back working at the ice cream places, and they go back working at the hamburger places, and they go back working where they came from. And because the Denver government is so corrupt, yeah, you, Mike Johnston, yeah, you, Paul Lopez. So, they're going to get a rude awakening on November 4th when this isn't going to pass. We can't live like this, folks. And as soon as you get rid of all this total city council, clean house. Get rid of the mayor, get rid of the clerk and recorder, get rid of the auditor. Start over. Clean slate. Start over with Robert W. Speer, the most decorated Democrat mayor of all time. The best mayor ever. He saw visions that nobody else was either willing to see or didn't want to see at all. And look where we're at. So Robert W. Speer, who died while serving his term from influenza, 100-year flu. Shit, I wonder if Fauci was behind that. Remember that guy Fauci making more than anybody? He killed a lot of people, folks. So did everybody else on that COVID trip. And other countries, they didn't close their countries down. They didn't lose nothing. Only the old people that were running our country thought they were going to die. When Senator Grassley, the oldest living senator, still in office, caught COVID and didn't die. What does that tell you, folks? What does that tell you? And we haven't even felt that damage. And right now, as far as like Trump, Democrats are not, as Republicans and independents, the only services for restaurants are no Democrats are waitresses and no Democrats are bartenders and no Democrats get tips. Because I know people that get tips that don't have to pay taxes on those tips. And I don't think they paid much taxes on those tips anyways, but IRS has ways to look at other people that are doing the right thing and paying the tips, and looking at the employee who's claiming that he didn't make that money working the same time the other guys do, and he still has his job. Yeah, dude, you didn't pay your taxes, because if you didn't get no tips, then you might not be worth a damn, so you would have been fired long before you would have had to file your taxes. So this is what Gen AI does now, supervised. It takes everybody's questions, everybody's answers, everybody. And look at how they spin it. For the bond initiative to appear on November 4th ballot, the council must approve its language and legislative detail by August 25th. Oh, are they going to do it? Of course they are, folks. If they don't pass, just like the 2R, Denver voters said no. Why they voted for illegals to be able to be firefighters and police, that was all changed. There was a list a mile long to be a firefighter in Denver. I know this from 2007. And they're saying that, oh, well, we can't get the right people to apply. So we have to hire these illegals.